It's surprising that there are not more women leaders in Singapore.
There's so much research to show that women bear the brunt of caregiving disproportionately compared to men. And this is an area especially, I think, heightened because of the fast aging population that we have in Singapore. I think we really need to look into how we can better support caregivers and also look into ungendering care so that the burden is no longer just on the women's shoulders but also distributed more evenly across the genders and across to society and community. If you look at it, the only differentiating trait is men are physically stronger. And in the new economy, I doubt many of these jobs are going to be depending on sheer strength or physical strength, right? And so I think it's important that we relook at the construct of masculinity.
Certainly men should partner with their wives to look after the family in a more holistic way, right? Whether it's for the economic parts of the family's well-being or the health and wellness parts of it. Well, I think, just involve them, encourage them to step up, to step outside perhaps their comfort zones. Be willing to take risks and make mistakes at home. I think perhaps sometimes if the man brings the same mindset that he has at work into the home, and at work perhaps there isn't as much of a latitude for accepting failure.
We need to recognize that we are primarily an Asian society. Being Asian, there are certain traditional roles that have been played by women over the centuries and roles played by men over time. It is not easy to eradicate culture and cultural norms. But if Singapore believes that we are gradually moving in the direction of modernity, then the very start of it is within the home. And that means that gender roles need to be flexible. Perhaps some women may be in a position where there is no choice. If they don't do it, nobody will do it. And it has to be done. And perhaps they were socialized to think that this is their responsibility to clean the home, to bathe the children, to feed the family. Overloading any person in the family creates a lot of dissatisfaction, resentment, and eventually physical and mental exhaustion.
Obviously, workplace, the hurdles that women face, and often it's linked back to their role at home. You can talk about caregiving, whether it's taking care of the family, children obviously, but increasingly also elderly parents, parents-in-law, maternity, and how these impact on career progress. It's known fact. If you look at boards of our public companies, women's representation is on the low side, needs to be dealt with.
The old boys club. Well, I like to think that in Singapore there's less of that. Obviously, there will be girls' club and boys' club and friends' clubs everywhere. But I think if we give women a chance to create that network, so create opportunities for women talent to meet potential mentors, to meet sponsors, and then actively get them a work mentor or work sponsor to help them with their career progression. So identify the female talent early, keep them in your sort of high potential list, appoint mentors, keep them warm if they have to come off the workforce for a while to have families, get them back in, and keep them in that cycle of training and mentorship and sponsorship.